So, Rabbi Robyn, loss is often sudden, and a person who has a Jewish loved one who they've lost suddenly is faced with the question of who can officiate at that person's funeral. If they don't have a connection to a synagogue or to a rabbi, will a rabbi be willing to guide them through the process and also to officiate at their loved one's funeral?
So the good news in that case, among much bad news that the person is obviously suffering and dealing with, is absolutely. And in fact, one of the things that 18 Doors does, and we pride ourselves very much on this, is we have an officiation referral service. So if you lose a loved one, you just go on to our officiation referral service. It doesn't matter what your personal faith is if you've lost a Jewish loved one, and you say that you're looking for a rabbi. And you can even say whether you're looking for a rabbi or cantor, Jewish clergy, to officiate, or even if you're looking for someone to co-officiate with clergy of a different faith, we can refer a local rabbi to you. Within seconds, you will get a list of clergy. And when you approach clergy to do with the funeral, they know that it's something very timely and should be back to you in a very short time.
So the question, so you do have people who are looking for rabbis who are willing to co-officiate?
We do, and we refer specifically. So if you are looking for a clergy to co-officiate, you don't just get a list of rabbis, some of whom may and some of whom may not, that you have to go through and call them and feel a sense of rejection or a sense of you're wasting your time. You will only get a list of rabbis who do, in fact, and I want to keep saying cantors as well, who do in fact co-officiate. And then you should be very clear what you're looking for, as there are different circumstances and where the funeral will be and what it would involve. So you make sure to find a clergy person who's comfortable with what you're looking for.
It's very helpful. Have you personally had the experience of co-officiating at a funeral, and what were the circumstances?
So I actually have only done it once, and it was 12 years ago. And I remember that because I'm rabbi of a small synagogue, and about a week into it, I got a call from a woman who's very involved, a past president. It was very tragic. She had lost her son. And her son, it was a very difficult family situation. He had married someone Catholic. She wasn't even sure if he had converted or not, but there was a lot of estrangement in the family. But it was her son, and she wanted to be part of this. It was very important to her that a rabbi, he'd grown up Jewish, be part of the funeral. And it was very important to his family, to his immediate family at this point, his wife and grandchildren, who were all Catholic, that his priest officiate as well. And so this congregant very sheepishly, and she just lost her son, said, Rabbi, I hate to ask you this, but will you co-officiate his funeral? And my response was, of course, you're my congregant. I care about you. I want to be there for you. You need me, you need a rabbi to offer comfort to you, in the same way that his other relatives needed their priest to be there. She needed her rabbi. And so I was able to work with that priest and perform the Jewish rituals that are part of the service.
That must have been an extraordinary experience.
It was extraordinary, and it was, again, it was a first time for me, and it was such a kind of no time to prepare emotionally for any of us, myself included, for this difficult situation. But it taught me a lot in realizing that there can be mourners who have different needs. And for them to have their own clergy or people who are close to them or represent something for them can be incredibly important and incredibly powerful. And we ended up having a shiva. And they, whatever rituals in Catholicism were important for them, they were able to have. So it didn't change the tragic situation, but it made that each mourner could mourn in a way that was appropriate for them, according to a tradition that was very powerful to them.
It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.